President Biden pointing the finger at the Federal Reserve to rein in the nation's record inflation. Joining me now is former White House Office of Management and Budget Director Russell Vought. Russ, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Let me just get an overall view from you, your assessment of the president's economic analysis.
Yeah, I think it was pretty lacking yesterday, and they attempted to do a reset. The problem is that their underlying policies are so problematic and damaging to the economy that they're not able to do that. And just saying that you're going to go out and get there and talk to the American people when it's your policies that are driving it is just going to be completely lacking. And as it pertains to just blaming it on the Fed and saying this is your problem to figure out, it's the equivalent of someone who's a shopper making a mess in the aisle and then calling cleanup on aisle 9. Yeah, of course there's a reason why the spending is causing it. That spending is from the Biden administration's agenda. But to just say this is all the Fed's job to clean up, they will do their job, presumably. But the Biden administration's economic policy are why we're where we are.
And you know who knows that is the American people. I mean, they're not satisfied with the direction in which the economy is going right now. They make it clear in all the polls say exactly that. The president said exactly the opposite yesterday. I mean, he said we are going in the right direction. He's sort of ignoring the view of the general public, which I think is better than the view of any particular economist. He kept talking about the 17 economists who say he's doing a great job, but the American people know better, don't they?
They do, and I think that was the comment that was most surprising to me, that you're going to have to go out and consult a bunch of economic professors and think tank people to understand what's going on, when it's very basic monetary policy, very basic economic policy. It's job-killing regulations. It's an anti-energy approach. That's why we are seeing what we are seeing. Yes, people are coming back to work, but they also go to their supermarket or their Target and they see empty shelves where they used to see full shelves, and they're taking a look at their own savings accounts, and they're trying to make decisions about, is it wise to keep having increased savings when inflation is just going to keep robbing that? And those are the real decisions that people who are consumers, who are savers, who are entrepreneurs and families are going to have to make in this moment of inflation. And they know it's not transitory, and they're just trying to figure out how long is it going to last.
Yeah, and he was, again, telling the American people, don't believe your lying eyes. I mean, the shelves are full, no matter what you see at your supermarket. That was strange. He also talked about the lower 40% doing extremely well now compared to when you were working with Donald Trump when he was president. I want to play a clip from that and get your opinion. Roll tape.
The first time in a long time, this country's working people actually got a raise. People, the bottom 40% saw their income go up the most of all that got a raise.
Well, first, there's a question of whether inflation has wiped out the raises in wages. But the other question is, I thought during the Trump administration, the bottom 40% was doing relatively well. They did have an increase not only in wages, but in savings.
Yeah, that's totally right. And we saw record income gains and wage increases with virtually every demographic community under the Trump administration. And inflation has wiped out all of the wage gains once you adjust them on a real basis. So that's just not true. And the American people know it. And yes, they're coming back to work because the COVID policies are starting to go away, and some of the incentives that were baked in are causing people to get back to work. But there's a whole lot of problems out there in the economy that people see with their own eyes.
And he went back to blame inflation on the producers, in particular this meat cabal that he says exists, that there are only 4 companies that control most of the meat production, or at least distribution, in the United States. Did you, I mean, I don't remember prices spiking when Donald Trump was president. Maybe they did a bit after the pandemic began, but this meat cabal that he keeps blaming for meat inflation, what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's just like the meat cabal only materializes in moments of high inflation, and that's when the Democrats go and they do this historically, David. Every time they're dealing with high inflation, you have the leftists on their side of the aisle going out and saying this is kind of big business causing this because they're getting together and they're causing prices to go up. It's just not true. They're looking to distract from what are the underlying economic realities happening monetarily, happening based on how much spending is occurring, and that's where this thing needs to be tackled. And to say you're going to keep trying with Build Back Better doesn't even help the situation at all.
Right. Your buddy Larry Kudlow is going to be joining us in the next hour to talk a little more about that. Russ Vought, great to see you. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.